Hello, this is Ziggy Dix, Gloucestershire Poet Laureate, and I just want to give you a quick update. It's been busy today, hence why I'm posting quite late today, and yeah, it's been busy. So other than working and things like that, I've done a kind of share a poem, which I'm going to try and do regularly on a Saturday, and a workshop on Tuesday. So I'm doing a workshop on a Tuesday and I share a poem on a Saturday, and all the details will be on my Twitter feed and Facebook page, ZD and keep an eye out, because if you want to take part or just join in or just listen to some poetry, everyone's welcome. There are trolls and things on the internet, so we kind of put passwords and things on and whatnot. So if you try and access it but you can't, let us know. We can hopefully get you involved if you want to be, and that's for anyone in the world, which is great. It's great for poetry, especially when it's when people need a bit of an uplifting experience, or just generally to have some kind of social kind of connection with people who share a similar kind of hobby or profession or whatever you want to class poetry as. So yeah, I've posted on Twitter recently about animals, because I use animals as a vehicle into a poem when I'm trying to get thoughts and writing onto paper. I'm not quite sure what to write. So I think, okay, well, if I write about an animal, describe the animal, and then try and add layers of meaning into that kind of detail. I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try and go outside the box a little bit. So I recently had a poem which I quite like, which is quite nice for a poem. One of my poems called Skunk, published with Ink, Sweat and Tears. And after it was published on the same day, I asked, I said about that I like writing about animals, and said, what animals do you think I should write about? And there are a number of animals on there, but I'm going to work through some of them, hopefully most of them. But the ones that stood out initially, just off the top of my head, was the buzzard. So I've done one on a buzzard, and also to make sure I pronounce this properly, the pangolin, which is an interesting kind of anteater kind of animal that's been linked to the COVID thing as well, apparently. I don't think it conspired to create the COVID pandemic, although some people might claim it does, but I don't know. It's involved somehow or something. But anyway, so I'm going to just share these two poems with you from the prompts from Twitter. The first one I'm going to read was the first one I wrote, which is obviously the buzzard one. So I'll find it on my phone. Having word on your phone is a very, very useful thing to do, because wherever you are, if you get an idea, you can just jot it down. And it's just, it's wonderful, wonderful creation. Saves a lot on notepads and paper and things as well. And also it spell checks for you, which is great, especially if you're like me and you're rubbish at spelling. So yeah, this is the buzzard. So let me know what you think in comments and things, and if you like it, you don't like it, I want to hear all your feedback, okay? The buzzard. The buzzard hangs, its rounded wings in shallow V, slowly fanning barred tail. Large and broad it reaches out, dark tips carried on a fast gust. Buzzard waits as the world shifts, sluggish as rust falling to mulch. Below, voles scurry, beating their worry over flat grass, and the bird sinks, lazy as slow mud. I quite like the line, lazy as slow mud, just because it's got a nice feel in the mouth when you say it. Enough about me and my unusual desire to say words in a funny way. So this is a new one for me, so I had to do a little bit of research about pangolins. I think that's the way you say it, and if it's wrong, please let me know, because I didn't really know much about them. And I know quite a fair bit about animals, just having children and things, and being very curious about nature in itself. But pangolins are kind of a new one on me, so this is my attempt to try and capture the essence of a pangolin, based on the brief research that I did scrolling through Google. Pangolin. The pangolin is a wave of horny scales, a brown desert rose combed into armour. Hunters chink dirt to scrape bone plates, grind its parts, dispel unseen ogres. Rippled as a snake, diamond tessellated that curls in dark heat, sand slashes tail. It rises from a hollow, a succulent storm runs for deeper black, to rinse ants from dust, an apocalypse of tongue. And again, that's, whether you like it or not, for me personally, I like reading that because it feels nice. And I think when you read a poem, whether it's yours or someone else's, if it feels nice when you read it aloud, it adds so much flavour to what's spoken. And I feel that when I read Seamus Heaney, even though I know there's plenty of contemporary poets and that use these techniques, but the first time I ever felt that was when I was reading Seamus Heaney aloud, specifically the poem Digging, which is obviously common to most people who've read that poem, but it's just one that stands out to me as a point of reference to when I'm trying to capture the feeling of the way things feel in the mouth, the words as they come out. It's a joyful experience to be able to create that kind of sense in your own work, and also to read other people's work. I just wanted to share that. So thank you for the guys who sent me prompts. I will be looking through those animal prompts online for the next couple of days, whilst I get a little bit of a break at work and things like that, whilst I'm caring. Because inevitably there are times it's slightly slower, where I can jot some thoughts down, only about 10 minutes or so, and usually that's enough for me to write a poem. But I'm going to try and keep some poems coming. There's also a magpie poem that I need to share as well, but it's a bit too late now, looking at the clock, to dig some of those magpie poems out. But I will be sharing some magpie poems because they were requested. And so just to remind you, workshops on Tuesdays to look at poetry prompts and look at some kind of technical stuff for poetry, because it's been requested. We've got sonnets and things as well soon. And Saturdays is share a poem, which is usually in the evenings on Tuesdays, I think 7 p.m. till 9ish, I guess. And on Saturdays it's 2 till 4 in the afternoon, and that's according to Greenwich Mean Time for those far further afield than sleepy Gloucester. So there's plenty going on. Also, at the end of the month, I've asked lots of lovely poets to do little readings online, and all this stuff's on Zoom, by the way. So get the Zoom app because it's very useful. I've asked some lovely poets to do some readings and share some of their work, whether it be like a prosy stuff or poetry stuff or whichever, just to keep people's minds engaged, and also to share their work, because I'm always curious about other writers' work. So I'm going to stop waffling. Keep a lookout on Twitter and things like that for what's going on my page, and hopefully there'll be something on there that'll be interesting for you if you like poetry. I think that's about it for now. So stay safe, stay well, and keep writing, guys. Keep reading. Okay, thank you very much.